I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Here.
Trustee Stack,
Here.
Trustee Cox,
Here.
Trustee Hopkins, Supervisor Allen.
Here. Number 3, motion and vote to approve trustees' participation.
Looks like everybody's here.
Anyway?
Everybody's here, so.
Yeah. Okay, no problem there. Okay. Approval of prior meetings minutes.
I'd like to have them approved with an amendment, please.
Yes, sir.
After we came out of executive session, I did make a motion to purchase the lot pending the environmental study, which died for a lack of a second. It's not in the minutes. I'd like to have that added. It was on the agenda last meeting to vote on the PEP grant to purchase the vacant lot next to the senior center.
I'll go along with you. It was a little unclear. I think is probably why she left it out, because there was a lot of discussion in the audience about how long it was going to take, and I guess you rescinded your motion, correct?
I didn't rescind it, it just died for lack of a second. So, but I think it still needs to
I
be on
thought it
record.
rescinded. Anyway,
Even if I did rescind it,
Dan, I'm with you.
it should still be documented.
I agree.
Okay, add the motion that you, to approve the purchase of the lot.
I made a motion to purchase it contingent upon the environmental study. And it died for lack of second. So, it's just not in the minutes, I didn't see it in there. So
Well, it's not quite how it happened, but
I checked it again tonight, the ones that are here on my packet. So, I'll make the motion to approve it with that amendment.
just remember I'm going along with you on this one.
Twice.
For once.
tonight.
Yeah.
We have a
Good
motion
night.
and a second.
I'll go along with it too, as long as that study
Mike,
goes far. If the study goes far, no.
You go second?
No.
Mike?
So Derek seconded the motion to approve the minutes.
No.
You didn't?
No, I
thought
let
we
somebody
did.
else second.
Okay.
I just don't.
We have a motion and a second.
wait a second. No.
Amended minutes.
To
He's asking to amend the minutes, Mike.
Yes.
Purchase the
Okay,
lot.
we motion and a second. Any questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
I guess aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Aye. And that was both for November 12th and November 20th? Right,
There's 2 sets of minutes, so 12
sets of
and
minutes.
1.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it went down. I'm just agreeing. I'm just trusting you
Yeah.
that that's what happened.
I
Okay.
didn't see the minutes at all, so it's never
Okay.
happened to me.
So we did November 12th and November 20th. Okay, thank you. Okay, public comments and number 5.
Clint Ball, Collinsville. Looking over the agenda, I'm looking forward to the update about the lot. See what we found out in the past month. No matter what we found out to this point, I am hopeful that this board can put a strategy together and successfully acquire it at some point in time. And I hope you guys can all work together and move towards that as a successful goal. So. The executive leadership continues to amaze me. Simple processes such as financial records being backed up are not being implemented. Seems like we might be missing other processes that are not in place, probably costing us more money. So hopefully the audit discussion will enlighten you to become more careful and mindful moving forward. Thanks.
Okay,
Ron Jetta, I live here in Collinsville.
Address.
Collinsville, he's
Collinsville.
My comments are, again, I kind of echo what Clint said. I just don't understand why the board didn't move forward more rapidly and do something with this lot next door.
Stop. I cannot hear you because we have chatter over here. I'm sorry. If you could start over.
I'm not sure why the board didn't move through with the buying of this lot next door. It's a safety issue for the people who use this facility. It makes it a safer deal. There seemed to be a lot of bickering back and forth about whether or not you were going to do it, what you wanted to do. In the meantime, I know there was some grant money at the county that was potentially obtained. You could have passed something. You could have went out at that point and did some studies and got that done after effect, just like you did on the lot next door to the senior, to the center, the township building. All that stuff was done in advance. So I hope you get your act together and try to move forward with it, because it was a good deal for the township residents, and especially the people that use the facility here. Also, it appears to me, I had a chance to look at the audit, and I wasn't at the last meeting, but you appear to have some real problems in your office. The operation, administration of the office, and things related to the office. I did a FOIA request on November 13th. I got a response back on December 4th. That's 13 business days from the day that I should have gotten it, which was 5 business days. And when I got it back, the response was, we changed email addresses and didn't find it. So, again, that's not my responsibility, but it just points out that, again, you got 13 business days, and it should have been 5 business days. There was no notification of, hey, we need 5 more days. I've had that happen. So that's a problem. Other issues that were pointed out in the audits that it looked at, the comments were made by the auditors that CDs are not being tied back to the general ledger. There's not, all the interest is being recorded to the general ledger. The QuickBooks at the senior center is not being backed up. Several items contained over expenditures in the budget. And clearly, these are functions that should be done. It's a responsibility of this board to make sure that those things are getting done. But it's a responsibility of the office manager to make sure that those things are being done and done properly. And it's just a reflection on the township, where if you're not doing those things properly. And not to mention, I think Clint hit it a little bit earlier, that when it was the budget time, that was just a chaotic mess. You had a budget was supposed to be done, then it wasn't, then you got people bringing in papers at the last minute. And folks, this isn't like you've been doing budgets for the first time. I don't know how many years the township's been in existence, but it's been here for decades, and it ought to be pretty routine. So I really would encourage you to look at that office function. And I know, Jack, you said you were going to be doing some things there that maybe the audit was done after. Obviously, you said you look into this. But again, the thing with the FOIA request, that was just done in November, and I don't know how many other people have made FOIA requests, but it's a problem. It's a problem.
Did you make it by email, Ron, or did you make it?
Made it by email.
Okay,
And
all right. That's
got a response back.
I thought that's what I understood from you, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Our attorney would like to say something.
Mr. Jett, I would just like to apologize to you directly. This is the first I've heard of this FOIA request. Had I known about it, I would have made sure you'd have had some type of communication within 5 days as required by the statute.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Again, I'm just pointing it out.
And I appreciate this,
yeah.
and I appreciate when we're told about these things.
Has it been fulfilled?
I'm sorry?
Have you gotten your answers?
Yeah, I got it on December 4th.
Okay, but
yeah.
I mean, you got an answer back. I wanted to make sure you got what you were looking
Yeah,
for.
I got what I was looking for, and said it was,
Okay.
but it was, 3 weeks late or
Right.
roughly, so it's just not acceptable. Very good.
Agreed.
Thank you very much.
Can I answer one question that he addressed? Ron, the reason for that lot over there, I don't think any of us are in disagreement to do anything with it and stuff like that. There's not been a study on it. When the lot that we got next to the township building, the owner of that did this study on it. We can't get this guy to do this study on it. He's wanting us to pull the freight and still charge us out the yin-yang for it, plus get that lot across the street from us for a trade-off, and costing us a ton of money for that property. In my opinion, that's not worth that amount of money, and also getting him that lot across the street.
My understanding is, and you're obviously more familiar with it than I am, but my understanding is that the city gave a letter that indicated they had done the environmental study,
No.
that they had
No, they
passed
did
on
not.
it.
Show me the letter. I have not.
So you need to.
This is-
send
This
them-
This should be gavel, this is public comments.
I'm just commenting on it, that the city said everything was done properly.
Get an argument.
Is everybody done?
Just like to point out, I usually wait, and if it's not even on the agenda, sometimes I'm not even allowed to respond. And then tonight, if it's those guys, they can just go ahead. It's on the agenda.
Whatever.
Did you have anything else on
You
your mind?
blurt out
No?
anything you wanna blurt out.
Okay, sir.
Phyllis Groskus City, in regard to the city conducting whether it had asbestos or lead abatement or anything on it. I tore down a building the same time of the year, had asbestos all over it, asbestos inside of it, some lead paint. City did nothing. All we did was tear it down. And thank God, or it would have cost a fortune. This is true, but as far as the city putting it in that little note that they did all this, I think it's a bunch of bunk. Because it wasn't done on my property at all. And if they would have liked to have condemned somebody, it would have been my property. So, that's just in answer to that. They did no study, but if you look at that lot, for God's sakes, it was never filled in properly. I am almost positive it was filled with stuff that shouldn't have went in there. And the city wants clean fill. They don't want rocks, big boulders like the laying out across the street right here. They don't want that for fill. On the brighter side, I bought my first property that was in the township. I got to use their service of the limb pickup and leaves. Wow, dynamite. On that property, my taxes were paid. Thanks.
Any other public comments?
Was it going to, I guess?
You can do it from there, Dee.
I'll go over there.
This, it'll be real short, kind of comment, follow along with what they were talking about.
Name and address.
Me, Dowling, 147 Hillcrest. But, Derek, I believe you had said you had the letter from the city, but it said no known contamination. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything there. It just means that they didn't know of anything. It's just legalese, lawyers covering their butt. They never actually went out and did a survey that I'm aware of or anything like that. So, if I'm wrong on that, that's fine. As far as the survey goes, it was only covered the one building, 410. There's no reference to any surveys by Illinois EPA for the other addresses there. So, anyway, I just wanted to point those things out.
Thank you, sir. Sir, did you say you had to leave early today?
Yeah, I do have another appointment.
Yeah, I want to yield to go down, since there's nobody here from the assessors.
Can I just say one quick thing, and I'll let you yield down. We have it on the agenda to discuss the vacant lot, so I'll save most of my comments for that because that's what most of your comments were. But basically what I heard is a lot of disagreeing with the position of the city. All right, Jack, you can attest, you saw the letter that they sent, correct?
I saw correspondence from the city, yes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just going off, I'm not from the EPA, I'm going off what the city is telling me. So if your opinion is that you don't like what the city has to say, that's your opinion. I'm going on what the city is telling me. So
No, I'm
this isn't back and forth. Terry, you went to the meeting with me to have them explain it to you. all right? So I was just trying to get this lot for seniors to make it a safer place for this, and it's blown up into, we have one trustee saying there could be oil under the senior center. Talk about, you know, so anyway, we'll get to more of it. I just want to know where we're at moving forward. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I want to yield down before I make my motion to what I want to do is, or we to do, is for the road commissioners' comments from Larry and Kathy.
Right now, we're still cleaning up leaves.
So you gotta have a motion to do this. There has to be a motion on the
I
floor.
make a motion to yield to the road commissioners' comments.
So the motion is, as I understand it, is the motion is you're going to want to take these comments out of order in the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to vote.
I'll second
We have a motion second.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
it. Yes.
Supervisor Allen,
Aye. Go ahead, Larry.
Right now, we're still are cleaning up leaves and having work on cutting and trimming trees. We also are mulching limbs. We're ordered a new crack filler that should be here right after the first of the year. We have filled our salt shed so we're ready when it snows. That's all I have.
Thank you, Larry.
From the assessor. There's no one from the assessor.
Anybody from the assessor's office? No? What you got? This gentleman said he had to leave, and if you want to say a few words, fine. If you got to leave, you can leave too.
To Terry, who's he with? And
Tell him who you're with. Or
oh no, I'm asking you, Terry. We have to make a motion to change the agenda.
I haven't got that.
Mike?
Brian
Brian Osh.
Otten from Shepherd Boyle.
You're with the auditor.
Right, yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
Oh, okay. You're with the audit. Okay, I was told that you wouldn't be
He
here.
said- Yeah, well,
I
I changed the schedule.
Oh, I didn't see it with everything.
I'll
Sorry.
make a motion to amend the agenda to allow we'll move down to the discussing of audit.
Second.
Are you in a real hurry?
I do have another
Okay.
appointment tonight, but
Okay.
I'll take whatever time you need.
Okay. Gotcha.
Are we gonna do that in closed session?
Should be.
No, it's not allowed.
Open?
Go ahead then, sir.
We need a
Well, we have to
second.
vote, hold on.
Wait, we have a vote. You voted.
Voted to move the agenda item up to have him present now. I need a second.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Trustee Foley,
No.
Trustee Stack,
What's the motion again?
The motion is that we're going to take Mr. Otten out of order on the agenda so that he can
Yes.
present his.
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Yeah, aye. Okay, sir.
Okay, you want me to do the podium or can I do it here?
Whatever you want.
Yes, right there is
Okay.
fine.
The audit, we did the audit as of March 31st. It is an unqualified opinion, which is the highest opinion that we can give, which basically means, in our opinion, the financial statements were materially correct as of March 31st. Okay? I think, did everybody get a copy of the audit?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody, I don't know how much detail you want me to go through in it, or?
I have some things, and if maybe because I actually have some questions.
Okay.
If that's fine with the board, I'll go on and start with that. First, I know that Mr. Hopkins asked, who's even, remember back in the budget time, we were trying to figure out why are we budgeting double the amount that we're actually spending each year. It's crazy. We're budgeting $2 million, and then thankfully it comes back at $1 million. But we're giving, when we budget that much, we're giving them authority to spend every single dime if they want. So I found that answer. I mean, we kind of knew, but it is on page 32. The township supervisor prepares the tentative budget and appropriations ordinance for the township. And the highway commissioner does it for them. So Terry is the one that prepares these things. And so I just want to point that out as we move forward. So, because I think we were in agreement, I don't know how we would ever make a motion, but we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to budget double the amount that we spend, because that's giving you, or that we think that we're going to spend, because that's giving the office authority just to go wild.
Can I interject something?
Yes.
It does say Terry, but Terry delegates that too.
He could, yeah,
His
sure.
office staff.
But I just wanted to point out, that's what this audit said.
Right.
It doesn't say anything about delegating, it says the township supervisor.
Good.
Okay?
'Cause ultimately, he's the treasurer.
Yes. Moving on then, we got this letter, and I'll just read a little bit here. Separate letter dated September the 27th, 2019 contains our communications of significant deficiencies or material weakness in the township's internal controls. That leads us to this page here. First one, transfer of appropriations. We noted several line items in the budget that contained over expenditures of the budget. The Board of Trustees can make transfers between line items of any funds in the budget and appropriation ordinance not exceeding 10%. But then it goes on, but transfers between appropriated line items in different funds cannot be made. My question is, what funds are we talking about here?
That there was, if you, I believe it should be, they may not all be listed in the budget because only the major funds are listed. If you go to the budget to actual schedules.
Oh, you're on the old budget.
Right.
I unfortunately don't. That's not in the audit though?
Yes.
Oh, it is on what page?
The budget to actual schedule starts on page 23.
Okay.
And if you look there, the very far right-hand column
Yeah.
is variance budget
Okay.
to actual. And anything with, revenue is okay, but anything on the expenditure side with a negative is an over expenditure of budget.
And we're not supposed to go over 10%, correct?
You're not supposed to go over the dollar amount that you budget. You can transfer 10%.
You can transfer
once
10%.
if you go over that amount.
So we're actually over budget. Some cases, so then that would lead me to my next question is, because we want to fix the problem.
Right.
That's why we do these audits, to find problems and then we fix them. Why is this happening? I asked Vicki to be here, and and it goes to one of our public commenters, that this continues to go on. This has got to be fixed because it's not fair to our taxpayers. You understand? And so I just didn't know if you can find out for me. If it's not you, then why is it happening? And I just want to fix it moving forward. Next, on the next one, and Mr. Foley, you'll love this one, excess fund balances. You see that on the letter here? Can you explain that? Especially Mr. Foley.
Why are you pointing me out?
Because you've always had a disagreement.
Yeah, you're out of order on that.
Okay, so we've always had a disagreement on this board, stretching back a couple of years, that there's an Illinois state law, you can only have 2.5 years of excess.
Correct.
All right? In some funds, we had 10 years of excess. So I was pushing the board to return the excess and just get us at 2 years cushion. It's good for everybody else to have a lot of excess, but this is their money, and I felt that they should have it back. And then I got a letter from the county that they would do all this, charges the price of a stamp. And so this was always a disagreement that he didn't believe that this was the law, that we didn't have to abide by this. So it states here the funds that we are over. And what we're doing to remedy this, and I guess the audit understands this, yeah, and it says, So we're reducing the tax levies to 0. The next one here, the one that I had a issue with was number 4. We noted that the bank confirmations for the certificate of deposits do not tie back to the general ledger. That was also mentioned in the comments. Not all interest is being recorded to the general ledger. If you could just explain that in a...
What was happening there, the interest was being capitalized on the CD. Instead of the township actually receiving a check, it was being added to the CD. So there was a notification that was sent to the township. It just wasn't recorded on the general ledger that there was additional interest earned.
Okay.
The rollover essentially, correct?
Well, some of them pay interest quarterly or every 6 months.
But they were just adding it to the
To
principal.
the CD, right,
percent,
adding.
And then reestablishing the CD
Right.
at that value, but it wasn't being properly ledgered.
Right, exactly.
So this doesn't have anything to do with the deposits, does it?
No,
Okay.
there was no actual money that came in. It was just a paper transfer is what it
Okay.
was.
So it's an accounting error, not money missing.
Right, exactly.
Right. Terry, do you make our deposits?
Most of them I do, sometimes Vicky does, yeah.
Okay, because I had a bank come to me and say that we're depositing checks into the wrong bank and are trying to, and so I just want to make sure that whoever's doing that, we can't be doing this. And lastly, backup of QuickBook files. So I'm guessing we weren't doing that. Are we doing this now, and who's going to be responsible for this?
It's my understanding after having spoken with Mr. Otten that we are doing that now, and that is being brought up to speed, and there are backups being done now.
Great. Okay. So I think that addresses, do you have any other things that you think that we should know about?
No, I mean, everything we've basically got in the audit.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming in and explaining, 'cause, you know, when you read it, maybe it sounds worse than it is.
Right.
So it's good to hear from, the company.
Your last name, Otten?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I just have 2 questions.
Sure.
Did Mr. Cox or anybody from this board call you reference this audit before today?
No.
Okay. Did you call anybody call the office and ask them any questions about this audit before tonight?
No, I asked last meeting even, right when we were given the audit.
I know you did.
So I don't know what your point is.
No, thank you. Thank you for
Anybody
coming.
else? I'm sorry.
I have no further questions.
Okay, sir.
I have one.
Sure.
Thank you
Oh,
for coming.
and if anybody has any
Very good.
questions,
And
feel
I
free.
thought the audit report was great. I read it 4 different times, and I've read them several times each year, the same way and stuff like that. I thought it was a great report, and I see minor things out of line, a little bit, not much. And yes, those minor things should be corrected, but I've served on other boards and stuff like that, and I've seen it way out of line. So you guys do a great job, and I appreciate you for coming and that.
Thank you. No
And let you
problem.
get the heck out of here to get your next appointment.
If anybody has
Thank
any
you, Mike.
questions, feel free to give me a call. Trustees, Terry, Vicky calls with questions throughout the year, Jack, or whoever. We're here to help. We want to help. So, that's what we're here to do.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
For coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Reports by officers, committees, or special committees, anybody? Moving on. Approval of the bills.
The general assistance bill is $8,052.83.
So moved.
Motion, second. Second. Any questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Aye. What's the next bill?
Road and Bridge.
Road and Bridge.
Bridge General is $119,547.96.
So moved.
No, she
I'm
didn't.
reading them separate.
Oh, you
Road.
just reading them separate, but then the total?
And
Okay.
then the total, yeah. Road and Bridge Permanent is $2,383.35. Road and Bridge Social Security and Medicare is $2,155.27. Road and Bridge Audit is $6,450. Road and Bridge IMRF is $3,889.30. The total is $134,425.88.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mike? Dan? Any questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Aye. Have any other bills we gotta approve?
No bills for the equipment fund, Road and Bridge Equipment Fund. The town fund, town general is $48,901.34. Town audit is $6,450. Town IMRF is $3,501.22. Town Social Security and Medicare is $2,283.08. The total is $61,135.64.
So moved.
I got a motion and second. Any questions? None, roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Aye.
The
Nothing else?
Township Senior Center, the Senior Center building is $2,178.76, and the Township's Senior Center lunch is $1,671.55. The total is $3,850.31.
So moved.
Mike?
I'll second
Eddie, okay. Mike and Dan?
You might.
Any questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Stack,
Aye.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins,
it. Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Aye.
All the bills.
Number 8, nothing on correspondence. Okay, unfinished business. You wanna read that?
The Collinsville Township and Collinsville Food Pantry Food and Gift Basket Giveaway. The deadline is December 13th. There's applications up here if you know anybody that you want to recommend.
Oh, it doesn't. Update senior citizen program, will you get that?
No, that's next.
Okay, go ahead.
Update on Senior Citizen Center programs and director vacancy.
Yeah, I'm the one that asked for this on the agenda. I'm still unclear. I don't know what right it is of me as a board member, but I guess I can at least ask. I still, because people ask me, so I feel that I have to tell them, where did April go? I don't know. I heard that she resigned, but then certain people are saying that she was let go, and so I want clarification on that.
She wasn't let go, no.
So, okay.
Yeah, and this is
Personnel matters.
This is a personal
Okay,
matter.
I'm not getting into any reasons, I just didn't know, people want to know where she went. So then the other question I have, it's been over a month now, and so I have people that do yoga, things like that, and they're like, our yoga program's going away. I don't know, has it went away? I talked to her a week and a half ago.
How long does she be going, Derek, do you know? April?
April, I don't know, I mean, I'm not
Really?
notified of
It was
anything.
announced at the last meeting that she.
A month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have been coming up here volunteering, now that you mention it, because I knew there was nobody up here. So I've called bingo a few times, I've helped send in the kitchen a couple times, just answered the phones, moved some tables and chairs around for everybody. I went up and asked Vicki, is there anything I can do? Knowing there was a vacancy. Did you?
Or,
Okay.
let me
Did
come
you?
over there and pat you on the back.
You know what?
Dan. I'm doing
Wait,
everything.
wait.
Only reason
That's all you're
let me
bringing it up
finish.
for.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
bringing
you
it up
are.
for that, because
Hey,
you know what?
let
I wouldn't have
him
brought it
finish.
up if you didn't ask about it. I don't pat myself in the back. This ain't the Dan show.
Just so you know, if I would have acted the same way to you, you would have went
Settle
off
down.
on me.
Can I finish? Okay?
Yeah,
And I
he's up.
know, Vicky's, the interviews were conducted earlier this week, and Vicki sent a person for a physical, and they have a background check in progress. So hopefully by the first of next week, they'll have a new director here.
since you question me on what I do for the township, okay, since you question me and say that I don't do anything,
You're
why
asking
didn't
what
you?
we're doing.
I want a new director. I want somebody in here full-time that we can pay to help these people. That's what I want. But since you asked, what do I do, Dan?
I didn't
He
say
can
that.
Yes, you did.
He can
Yes, you
say
did.
He did not say that about you.
Yes, he did. He said, what do
No,
you
he
do?
did not.
Hey,
You called it.
Call it to order.
yeah, let's call it to order.
Excuse me, he asked a question.
The
I can-
supervisors called it to order.
Okay,
Called it to order.
so I
Let's
can't
just-
answer his question?
Let's just move forward.
No, I'm not moving forward because, hey, Dan, tomorrow, are you gonna be down at the Festival of Trees, helping out down there for that charity event? I can name you a dozen charity events that you
We
don't
know.
do nothing.
We
So
know.
don't question my integrity and what I do. I work
You
my butt
volunteered
off
to
up
promote
here.
your business.
Come on, let's-
I work my butt off up
Hey,
here for
okay.
You
nothing.
volunteered to promote
So
your-
don't tell
your own
me.
business.
Hey, now wait a minute, everybody knows we work hard, and let's let her roll.
So, but don't question me. So here's my
I'm not
question.
questioning you.
I know you didn't. So my question is, moving forward, I just want to know that what's the process? Are we trying to find somebody? These people up here need somebody full-time, not just Dan coming in and calling bingo every now and
No,
then.
he did a wonderful job.
I'm
telling
sure he
you.
did. I'm sure he did.
Well, and he got the job
So
done.
my
But
understanding
if
from
you'd have
my-
waited to the end of the report, we'd have been done with
Let
this.
me, I'll just, it's okay, I'm just gonna jump in.
Sure.
My understanding from this cacophony is that a lot of stuff has been happening and that there is a candidate who has been selected, is doing a background check, and hopefully by the end of next week, there will be a new supervisor, a new director in the building, working full-time, making sure making sure all the programs are running.
And I guess my next question is, have we interviewed more than one, or is this just somebody that we know? So we have interviewed more than one.
Three people.
I just want it to be an open and fair process,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm telling you, this could get, we're not doing things quite right here, and I want to make sure that moving forward, that we're doing things right. That people have legitimate concerns when openings and vacancies aren't put out there to the public and open to everybody, and if we're doing a fair interview process and picking the right candidate. I want the best candidate,
So
and
it's my understanding that these positions have all been posted. They've been
Yes.
posted publicly, they've been put on Indeed.
The whole 9 yards.
There was a wide variety of candidates, it was narrowed down, I didn't participate directly, and it was narrowed down to a smaller field of
Mhm.
candidates who received interviews, and from those, that smaller field of candidates, there have been selections for physicals, background checks, and potential.
let me ask you, do you understand why I'm asking these questions and why you think it's okay for me is it okay for me to ask
So,
about our senior director?
so you're asking my opinion?
Yes, I am.
So this is my opinion. Trustees are here as auditors. They're here to watch funds. Trustees typically do not participate directly in personnel matters. The hiring and firing of personnel, my understanding with the township, is that it's supervisors' approach. So I think you're certainly well within your rights as a citizen of Collinsville Township to be asking questions. However, that's not really within your purview as a trustee to be making hiring and firing decisions.
But you can understand why I have concerns.
Yes.
I think what we've had.
And this was done properly.
We have
yes.
all complained about communication in the past, okay? I don't disagree with you there.
Side note,
Sir,
I had,
Sir,
No,
please,
please.
next item, please.
If you're not one of them, you can't.
yeah, I know.
No, you told me I couldn't talk earlier.
Yeah.
Told me I couldn't either.
We deposed
But
you.
yet everyone still talks. Let's just talk.
We deposed him last time.
I was
For
just
the
gonna
audience,
say, I saw it
just
publicly.
I like to
That's
depose
how I
him.
found
Yeah.
out.
So let's do update
Let's
on
go.
Okay.
soil testing of vacant
Let's do the
lots.
update
Bring
on
my
soil
own gavel next
testing
meeting.
Is it a relative?
on the vacant lot.
Updating the soil testing of the vacant lot. I sent out five RFPs to 5 different companies asking for services. Received back 3. The bids range from $1,995 to $2,800. I spoke with Supervisor Allen about it. We hired the lowest bidder because they were all pretty much the same qualifications. So they were awarded that last week, and we should have the phase 1 done within 3 weeks. So by next meeting, we should have the phase 1 done. They did point out to me that I gave them a copy of that city report, it only had one address on there, and that building had 4 addresses on it. They had the report, I believe it was for 410, but there was also 412, 416, 418. They said that by law, the demolition company should have had one for each. They're gonna do research, they're gonna see, maybe City Hall just didn't give you all of them, but they're looking into that. So, you know, there would need to be an environmental report like the one you provided from the city, from the excavator company, the demolition company. They should have had one for each address. It may exist, that's what part of the phase 1 study is doing. They're doing it all. So it's been awarded, and we should know in about 3 weeks.
If we can have a little conversation, that might help clear up everything. So I just want you to understand, I am no expert on study of the ground. It's obvious, okay? All I did was everything I could do, because this grant was being voted on. 2 days later, we only have a meeting once a month. So we had 2 months to do this. And so I did everything I could. I wanted to get this study done, gave him the notice, nothing happened. I went to the city of Collinsville. I know, I just want to explain. I went to the city of Collinsville. They know about this lot. So when I guess
Is that
my
when me and you went to city council?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They know about this lot, so perhaps they just wrote 410 and they meant the whole thing. I don't know. But I'm just going off of what the city told me. Now, heck, Mr. Ostrowskis might know this, but for Keller Construction, who did the fill on this, okay, don't they have to get a permit?
I don't know the laws either.
And so my question would be, if they do find something, just so everybody understands, if they find something wrong in that lot, it's not your fault, it's not my fault, I know who's on the hook though. The city of Collinsville and Keller Construction, because they're the ones that said that was okay. I was trying, and I'm still trying, to get that lot for the seniors. We couldn't have voted last time to go forward because I'm saying, okay, hold up your money for God knows how long, or just let's go back to you at a later date, next year sometime, and get it.
Spring.
You know, if it's still there. I don't know. I was trying to get the deal done. I thought it was very irresponsible. I don't know if you want to say something. It's up to you. I'm not asking you. But what you said about the senior center, because that opens up a huge can of worms with the EPA. If they find something under there, they might have to drill under here.
No, they won't go under existing buildings, okay? This building is here.
Why is that?
They just don't do that. They don't go after, they don't go once.
They don't care what's under here?
If something came from this property over there, that's that lot's property.
No, you had
not
said
ours.
that it came from that property under here.
No, I mean,
Sure you did.
I'm not gonna argue with that, okay? Bottom line is, the first meeting, I was all for that lot. I thought it was a great idea. I didn't know in the time frame from the one meeting to the last meeting that there was nobody working on this environmental. I took the bull by the horns, went and got proposals, got more than one bid, and actually, I forgot to mention, it's a Collinsville company that we awarded it to that was a low bidder. The 2 low bidders were Collinsville companies.
And what's the company's name?
Tetra Tech?
I believe that's the one I called.
No, you called Tech Lab.
Okay, Tetra Tech, okay.
Tetra Tech, yeah.
Okay.
They're on Eastport Plaza, the one you called on Horseshoe Lake Road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bottom line is, once again, there seems to be a theme tonight, lack of communication here is the root cause of the problem. If I had known it wasn't being sought after, the environmental, I would have done it earlier. But
well, again, I mean, I went to the supervisor.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming
and we
anybody.
sent us an email.
We all need to communicate better. I mean, you know, bottom line, okay? So, I'm done.
Mike?
Yeah. Statement was made, and I could be corrected to be wrong, but I don't think I am, because I was here, and Cindy probably can testify to this, to volunteer for Meals on Wheels, calling bingo, answering phones, when we were going through the process of a changeover of senior directors at that time. And when it came that they tore that building down, I witnessed a lot of it. Unless Keller Construction or Excavating subcontracted it out, there were no Keller people over there, or no Keller trucks. It was an outside outfit. I don't remember what the name of the trucks were, but it wasn't Keller, because theirs are red and white.
Diving into conspiracy theories now. So who do you think it
I'm
was?
just telling you what I witnessed and saw
Well, who
with
do you
my
think it
own
was?
eyes.
So this is actually something that would be easily discoverable with a FOIA. The EPA keeps records on what this, and they're discoverable by the public. There's someone, you know, who is or was not the contractor or subcontractor. That's
Part
not
of our
public.
study, part of the phase one study that we're asking for, all that will be disclosed. It will all be in the report.
Yes.
So if there was something rotten in Denmark, that will be in the report, and I think they're obligated to report it to the EPA.
But are you saying, Mike, that their trucks weren't labeled?
The trucks
could've
were labeled, I don't
subcontracted
remember what was
it.
on the label, but they weren't Kellers, I can tell you that.
They
Because I
could've
know Kellers are red and
subcontracted it.
white,
They could have subcontracted the haulers.
possible. All I can tell you is when they were tearing it down, you talk about some dust and some bad stuff going in there, going in there.
Just so you understand, Mike, what I'm trying to explain is, I went to the city. That's the only thing I could do. I went to this tech lab, that's what I Googled it, okay? They said, and then I talked to another gentleman, they said, well, what's under there? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, you would just blacktop over it. That would seal it in. That's just what I was told. Then I went to the city of Collinsville, and they told me that the study was done to demo the building. There was no known contaminants. There was no asbestos found. And then it was all permitted to Keller Construction. Now, you might be right. Maybe they didn't have that logo on their truck. I don't know. All I'm saying is this was free money that we were going to get that we otherwise wouldn't get. And my last point that I will make, we've wanted this lot for how many years? Since we've been here. Why in the world, and you wanted it so bad, and if this was a problem before I went out and got the grant, why in the world didn't you, anybody, think about getting that land tested? Only when I got the free money to buy it, it was a problem.
No.
Why in the world did we wait till the last second for
Trustee
3 years?
Trustee and Hopkins and I brought that up, and
Then why didn't we get it
going
tested?
back in time when Trustee Stack was a trustee before he is now.
Never got it tested.
Wait a minute, the buildings were still up at that time when Trustee Stack was a trustee before.
I'm talking about once it was torn down and we wanted the land.
Trustee
Okay.
Hopkins and I brought that up.
Then why
We're not
didn't
gonna
we
go
get it
no
tested?
further. Let him speak, and then that's all on the
Yeah,
subject.
you know, it just, the first thing, this is outrageous, $125,000 for that.
That's
outrageous. We had the study paid for, both phase one and phase two, and the entire plot lot over there paved by the owner, the bank, for less than $100,000. And they want $125,000 for this little, it's
Plus that-
outrageous.
plus
It's
that parking
outrageous.
lot.
Okay, can I ask you, so you can explain to me, all right, what do we use, first of all, what do we use that lot over there for?
We have, I don't know, what do we use? it
Right,
for?
so we spent
have-
$100,000 of
No,
taxpayer
it wasn't.
taxpayer
It was
money.
some odd thousand, although, wasn't it?
Okay, it was,
I mean, the one across the street, people park on that.
Yeah.
okay, all right, I assume that somebody
Park,
every
yeah.
now and then will park on that.
No, it's not every hour, every day.
Every day.
At Terry's Appliance. So my question is, so you don't see a need for this lot here, and it's not directly coming out of any Collinsville Township tax dollars. This is a grant that was given, and now it's going to another
And it's
city.
a questionable grant.
A questionable grant?
Yes, it is.
Play for play.
Pay for play? What are you talking about? Can you explain that?
Yes, I can explain.
Are you saying that I'm doing something?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, let's move
Pay
on.
for play?
Hey, let's move on.
Correct, you can put me on record for that. Correct.
Who's paying me? I want to know. I want to know how much I'm getting
Hey,
paid.
let's just move on.
So
We're not
anyway,
getting nowhere on this.
we need, the
Under new
seniors
business,
want
City of
this land.
Collinsville Joint Review Board Annual Meeting. That's just a reminder, it's posted at City Hall that it's tomorrow, 12/11 at 10 a.m. at City Hall.
Tip.
Next. So
Vote on the levy.
you want to vote on the levy?
Pay for play.
The truth is killing you, Junior, doesn't it?
So.
Hey, Dan, do you think I'm doing pay for play?
The next
Dan?
object
give me a
is,
Oh my
the
God!
vote is on the levy.
I want to know who's paying me. I could you
The
share
next
this
agenda,
slide?
we're done there. Next agenda item is a vote on the levy.
I want to bring something up about the levy and stuff, depending on where we go and whatever not. I have an article here that Trustee Cox always quotes them of being, oh, such a beautiful township and stuff like that, and does wonderful things, and I don't doubt that. But they're raising their levy by 4.9%. in all areas.
Can you explain who you're talking about? I'm confused.
Edwardsville Township.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Yes, I did,
Okay.
starting out.
Okay.
And I've talked to a couple of people up there, and they tell me several other townships, they didn't name the townships, that said they're going up by some amount and stuff like that. And Edwardsville Township is going up because they're gonna do some rehab work on their existing building. And a gal I was able to talk to that lives up there said she doesn't understand why they don't even go higher and tear that building down and build a new one. I said, well, ma'am, you know, that's easier said than done. Because then it runs into, not that rehabbing doesn't run into a lot of money, but tearing down and building a new one runs into a lot. And contrary to what Trustee Cox always quotes and stuff like that, I'm going to tell you what. We keep going with this zero levy, and we keep going down that road, we're going to get in trouble. We're going to be in debt again.
Just the ones that are overfunded.
Are you done? Can I, or Dan can have the floor.
Dan, go ahead.
I could make a motion that we approve the road and bridge levy for next year.
We got a motion on the road and bridge levy. A motion second.
Okay.
Any
we can
questions?
discuss.
We
Yeah,
can
sure.
discuss.
Yeah, we can discuss them. I was completely confused at where you were going about, I guess you said the Edwardsville Township. I don't live in Edwardsville. I don't think this is about the Edwardsville Township. This is about the Collinsville Township. You spoke, the reason, I don't, anyway, so I don't even want to address that. I was trying to make sense of it. But what I would like to say, you're upset that we're levying zero, you just said. The reason, and that's why I wasn't trying to be rude, I know it came across rude, that I asked our auditor, can you explain number 2 to Mr. Foley, is this exact issue. We are in violation of the law. That's the reason we have to make it zero. How about we just read what the actual auditor says?
I've read it, Derek.
No, you haven't.
You don't,
Read
yes,
it
I
to
have read it.
It says, we recommend utilizing excess funds for current expenditures or reducing the levy into each of the funds with the excess. Some of the excesses were 8 years. So we're going to be in violation of the law for another few years. I agree. After that, we're going to have to levy. And I want to continue to spend wisely, and that's why I hope that this board cares about my vote. I want to vote yes next year on the budget. So I want a budget that is in line with what we're going to be levying. Okay? So that's why we have to make it zero, which is good for our taxpayers right now.
Motion on the floor.
You know what this 4.9% Edwardsville
Motion on the floor.
is making the taxpayer pay?
I don't know anything about Edwardsville. I'm not defending Edwardsville
You
whatsoever.
defend them all the time and go against Assessor Colby.
Hey,
Oh, the assessor's office.
There's a motion on the
So it's
floor.
the same
hey,
thing.
hey,
There's a motion on the floor to approve the levy for the road and bridge district. There's a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion and a second.
We'll take the roll call.
Any questions? Roll call.
And
Trustee
that's on the
Foley?
highway, right?
Trustee Foley?
That's on the highway.
Road and Bridge.
Road Bridge.
Yes.
Trustee Stack?
Yes. Aye.
Trustee Cox?
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins?
Yes.
Supervisor Allen?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the township levy for next fiscal year.
We have a motion, we have a second, and a second. Any questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Foley?
No.
Trustee Stack?
Yes.
Trustee Cox?
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins?
Yes.
Supervisor Allen?
Yes.
And just to remind everybody, we raised no levies. Everything stayed the same as last year. So
Yeah, and there was, in the road and bridge, there was levies at 0.2.
I just meant to say that before.
that all right?
We didn't get talking.
Motion to adjourn?
So
No second.
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
Anyway,
Wait.
roll call.
Who's second? Trustee Foley?
Aye.
Trustee Stack?
Aye.
Trustee Cox?
Yes.
Trustee Hopkins?
Yes.
Supervisor Allen?
Aye.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Chris.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
Now refresh. Me? Trying to prevent
Milk and cookies?
from me getting. Are we gonna have a camera over there next time?
Maybe.
Camera over here?
Yeah.
Over there, and one back
Maybe.
there, one over there.
Like that?
No, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Comment on the table.
Look, I knew he was here.
I hope it didn't turn it off.
Well, as long as you get to make your speeches.
Road Bridge does their own hiring, as does the assessor's office.
Yeah, but the assessor budget is at our level.
Right.
The budget, yes,
Yes.
And I was gonna ask, but I didn't interrupt.
but nobody has a procedure as far as
No, I know.
where you advertise.
Well, I saw it, yeah, I think they went on.
Agency?
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
I saw it on
It
Indeed
was on
and
Indeed,
Facebook, and it's on the website.
our Facebook page, it was on
And what about the assessor's office?
we don't do that.
That's their call.
I know,
That's
that's their call strictly, whatever he wants to do,
100%.
he's God now.
You know what? He can say, Phil, you're hired.
He might hire you.
That's exactly how the last one was hired, I know
Well, we will never hear that, but he can say, Phil,
I
you're
think he
hired.
will hire me.
You think so?
Sure.
Just so he can fire you.
Good assess property.
How many thousands of dollars?
We'll take you 5 years.
Oh, no, it's just if you go
Yeah.
outside.
How many studies?
Raspy.
Very Christmas.
We really can't talk about it. Inside, possibly
Over
replay.
there on that.
Very good.
Yeah, I think we- it's like-
Hey,
you know, they-